This is, yeah, it's kind of a sad situation. My wife is thankfully teaching ESOL now, and I'm at home with our daughter, but our differences or whatever have really created a difficult situation. I'm not able to read with my daughter. I'm not sure what to do. Well, the only thing I really can do, I feel sad that I can't read this book with my daughter because of our situation and all the terrible things going on in the world. Yeah, the rapport is not there. My daughter feels the strain in our relationships, and it's frightening. She doesn't want to do anything that's going to make things worse. So I'm going to read this by myself, and then maybe my daughter will watch the recording when she gets ready to. What is more precious than rubies? Learning and loving it. Does this story have a familiar ring to it? It's inspired by two other famous tales, the folktale of Cinderella and Megillat Esther, the scroll of Esther, which is read on the holiday of Purim. That's like the Jewish Halloween, in case you didn't know that Jews have Halloween too. But Raisel's story has something the others do not. Lots of love for Jewish learning. Raisel learns from her grandfather that rubies may be lost and gold stolen, but that which you learn is yours forever. Her love of learning gives her a uniqueness and rare intelligence that capture the heart of the rabbi's son. Cinderella, prince, and Esther's king could learn a thing or two from that young man. Outward beauty is all well and good, but a heart and mind that love are priceless. Talmudic treasures. Raisel gives her suitor a gentle reminder about looking beyond the superficial. Look not at the flask, but at what it contains. She selects this powerful reminder straight from a rich learning in Pirkei Avot, ethics of the ancestors. An ancient collection of rabbinic wisdom. Oh, we got to read that. Yeah. These days, many women study rabbinic teachings, but such learning was off limits to girls and women in Raisel's time. Imagine how surprised the rabbi's son must have been to hear this pearl of Jewish wisdom come from such an unlikely place. Quote, unlikely. Was he impressed? Continued on the back flap. Okay, well, this is going okay. Look closely. Talk it over. Hold on a second. Make a big book of learning surprise. Hold on. Take a look at the cook's face. How would you describe her expressions? What do her face, body language, and actions say about her? How does the illustrator show that something magical is happening in the story? Why do magical things happen to Raisel? The name Raisel means rose in Yiddish. Raisel. Do you see the roses and the other flowers in the story? Do you think there's any connection between the flowers and what's happening on the page? Your turn. Does this story remind you of any other stories? What makes it different or special? Have you ever been in a difficult situation that turned out well in the end? What happened? The rabbi's son compliments Raisel's costume. She says, look not at the flask, but at what it contains. What do you think she means? How do you describe Raisel as a person? The flask. Actually, that could mean different things to different people. But that's what learning is all about. Raisel's Riddle by Erica Silverman and Susan Gaber. Oh, look at that nice house. And it's like Ukraine or something. No, it's Poland, I guess. Because they have log cabins. Yeah, they were talking about the log cabin stuff. I think Trotsky was talking about that. He's saying Karl Marx is, he's not like Polish or Ukrainian, and he didn't really look at what we have over here. So his Iron Laws of History, some of the numbers are not right because we're like in log cabins over here, and they've had a lot more industrial development in Germany. Okay. Once upon a time, in a village in Poland, there lived an orphan girl named Raisel. She was raised by her grandfather, a poor scholar who studied day and night. Because of his vast learning, the villagers turned to him for wisdom and guidance. They paid him when they could, with cheese or bread or wood for the fire. In this way, Raisel and her grandfather got by. So they have an old guy, and he's a precious old guy because he has so much knowledge, and he raised this beautiful daughter. And look at it, yeah, okay, all right. One day, Raisel sat by her grandfather's side, watching as he pored over a thick book. "Zaida," she asked, "why do you study all the time?" "I want to study." Oh, that's what she said. Wait a second. Okay. "Why do you study all the time?" "Why, indeed?" He looked at her with twinkling eyes. "It is written that learning is more precious than rubies, more lasting than gold. Rubies may be lost and gold stolen, but that which you learn is yours forever." "Zaida," said Raisel, "I want to study too." Raisel's grandfather began to teach her every day. They read and recited from the ancient texts, often late into the night. Then came a harsh winter. Raisel's grandfather fell ill. On a bitter cold night, as she sat reading to him, he breathed his last breath. I knew that was going to happen. I didn't want it. The villagers visited Raisel with words of comfort. They brought what little food they could spare. But Raisel did not want to become a burden to them. As the snow began to melt, she set out to seek work. Wearing a tattered shawl, she followed a dirt path through forest and field until at last she reached the gates of the city. She made her way through crooked, narrow streets. She stopped at every house to ask for work. Again and again, she was turned away. Look at all the chimneys and the snow. She just lives with her rabbi grandfather in a little log cabin. This is all they do, is they're building up all their big stuff. And, oh man, I'm just really struggling trying to get through this. Oh, and somebody being mean to Raisel? Who are you begging around here? Get lost. Beyond the synagogue, Raisel entered a courtyard and knocked on a door. A woman in an apron opened it. The poorhouse is down the street, the woman said gruffly. I'm seeking work, Raisel explained. I can cook and clean. The woman turned up her nose. This is a fine home of a most distinguished rabbi. I am his cook, the best in all Poland, and I manage the household too. At that moment, the rabbi came to the door. Please, Raisel begged. I am strong and capable. For a place to sleep and some bread, I will work very hard. The rabbi turned to the cook. Surely you could use some help. Poor Raisel. Oh, now she has to carry for the lazy old lady that doesn't want to do any of her work. She's got to be her slave. Okay. Scowling, the cook led Raisel to the kitchen. You might be capable, rag girl, but that doesn't mean you can push your way into my home and steal my job. She pointed to a large wash tub. Fill it to the top, and be quick. Raisel hurried back and forth, hauling bucket after bucket from the well to the wash tub until finally it was full. Not fast enough! The cook kicked it over. Do it again. Later that night, the cook showed Raisel a bed of straw behind the oven. Early the next morning, she shook Raisel from his sleep. Scrub the hearth until it sparkles, she ordered. And so the days passed. From sunup to sundown, Raisel held her tongue, hid her tears, and did as she was told. Oh, my goodness. Okay, I'm going to take a break.